Hi guys, so today I thought I would do a kind of different video for the end of the year. I can't remember the last time I did something like this, so I thought it would be a good one for this year. Instead of doing a kind of resolutions for the coming year, I thought I'd do what I learned last year, because I feel like people always make resolutions and not many people stick to them. I know I don't, but I thought I would talk about what I learned in the last year in 2017. Some stuff is positive, some stuff not so positive, but let's get into it. Okay, so one of the things I learned is kind of how important it is to be involved. Before this past year with the election and the president and everything, I never really felt the need to be involved or like educated on history or politics or the impact that those things have. I don't know if maybe this is because it's the first year I'm going to start to be without like my parents' health insurance and, you know, being more independent. I'm not really sure why, but I've gotten so involved and read so many articles and really kept up to date with what's going on. I just think it's so important to do that, and I know it's everyone's opinion to, you know, make your own choice, but for me, I've realized how important it is to speak up about things I believe really heavily in and don't just take a back seat to something because it's too complicated or it's so hard to see. I've really realized how important it is to be aware of all the things that are going on around you, and it's kind of sad that for every person that does care, there's like so many more that don't. So that's something I learned this year. Another thing I learned this year is kind of similar in the respect, but it's more about the environment and global warming and recycling, and I've been very kind of focus on that, and that's something I've learned more about this year. I always knew, you know, recycle is important, but I was always lazy about it, and this year I've really focused myself on that, and I know that, yes, a lot of people say, you know, does that one bottle you're not recycling really make a difference? And maybe it doesn't, but maybe it does, because I kind of think of it the same way as educating yourself on politics and things like that. For every person that goes out of their way to recycle and really focuses on that and pays attention to what they're doing, there's probably 10,000 people that don't, and that is making the difference. And if I could just annoy enough people to get them to just kind of make a little bit of a difference, it can make a big difference. So that's something I've been focusing on as well. Another thing I learned this year, I promise this kind of like righteousy stuff is gonna go away in a minute, but another thing I learned is how horrible animal testing is. Obviously I knew that, but I just didn't take the time to look into my products and things like that. So although I do still use some brands and products that unfortunately do test on animals, because I literally cannot find something that doesn't do that and works, I'm really trying to stay focused on products that are more natural, that don't test on animals, that are completely cruelty free. So that's like one of the first things I look for when I find a new brand, when I find a new product. If I've been using something for years, I found out it was tested on animals, I've been trying to find an alternative. So I know it's not an overnight thing, it's a very hard thing actually to do, so I applaud everyone who does completely use cruelty free makeup and skincare and everything. I am trying to make that transition. It's taken a while and I'm still in the middle of it, but it's something I think is really important and that I've really taken the time to pay attention to this year. Another thing that I've learned this year is how important your health is, because I've had a lot of health issues in 2017, physical health versus mental health. I've had a lot of both, and I always knew how important obviously health was, but not me personally. I feel like I've seen it happen to people around me, but until it happens to you, you don't really pay attention, I guess, how important it really is to take care of yourself. You know, before this year I was really not a healthy eater. I ate a lot of dairy and meat and fried foods and added sugars and things like that. So this year I've been a lot more focused on what makes me feel good. Yes, I do still sometimes eat McDonald's and go out to eat and get like really horrible things, but I try to do that with lots of moderation. I just try to stay healthier about it. I try to think, okay, if I'm gonna eat this thing that has tons of added sugar, I'm gonna try to be healthier. I'm gonna drink more water and just kind of make it like a once in a while thing. If I want to indulge, I'll indulge in dairy and things like that. But every morning after I indulge in like cheese or chocolate, I have a ton of new pimples on my chin. So my body's kind of screaming at me, don't eat that. I've also cut down on my meat intake, which is really, really good. I'm so proud of myself. I eat meat maybe twice a week. I'm really proud of myself for cutting down on a lot of dairy animal products in general. I don't watch every little tiny thing I eat, but I do cut down a lot, and I felt so much better about it. And I'm still fighting with a lot of health issues, but this year I did learn how important it is to really take care of your body from the inside out. This year I also learned how important your friends are to you, and of course that's something that I've always known, but I think this year, because I've struggled with a lot of more issues, I guess, in one combined time than in the past, I feel like I've learned more importantly like how close your close friends are and how important they are. But I think this year I really learned to lean on my friends, and that's not something I'm good at doing. I kind of feel like I'm burdening people. I don't want to bother them. But this year I've had some really close friends of mine just be really supportive with my anxiety and with my health issues, and they're just so amazing. And people reach out to you when you don't reach out to them to complain or something, and they reach out to you to see how you're doing, and kind of just like understand, especially with anxiety. It's something that's so hard to deal with as a person from the outside, and I understand that. Like, I don't blame any of my friends who just don't really get it, but the friends of mine, I've talked about this in When I Learned From Having Anxiety video, the friends of mine who have been there for me with my anxiety, they are so important in my life, and I'm starting to tear up. Don't want to do that in this video, but I don't know if they're going to be watching this, but I just want to say thank you to them. I've learned how truly amazing they are, and I've always known it, but I think this year really highlighted a lot of those moments for me where people in my life really just like stood out, I guess, if that makes sense. Another thing I learned this year, being a lot more independent with my money and things like that, and paying more bills and all that stuff, is how important budgets are and how important saving is. Obviously the holiday season kind of messed me up with that because I love buying gifts for people, but other than that, I've been doing really good with saving, paying off bills, paying off debts. I realize how important it is. I think that when you're a teenager and stuff, you complain like your parents don't buy you this or buy you that, and things like that, and I get it. I was totally like that. I didn't understand, I guess, how really important that was and how much bills accumulate. You know, when your parents say they can't afford your $50 pair of jeans, they're not joking. The bills are crazy high, from like car insurance to car payments to heat, electricity. It's actually crazy. I'm very like budget buying, only buy it if I love it. So if you're younger or you're even in college, you might think, oh, I'm on my own, but if you still live at home and your parents still pay for your car or your groceries, even like everything, as much as I'm very lucky my parents still pay for a lot of stuff for me, just kind of take notice of that and like really appreciate it, because when you're on your own, and I'm not even on my own yet, so I can't even imagine how difficult it's gonna be, but this year I've really learned to like stay focused on my money and my spending and watch debt and really watch out for that and be careful with it, because it's scary. Another thing I learned this year is to, it sounds so cheesy, but invest in yourself. And whether that's what I've done, and that's just saying save your money. Investing is different. If you're buying like a sweater, obviously you could probably save your money, but if you're investing in something for your job that'll like actually impact your life in the future, a house, I don't know, whatever point in your life you're at. But for me, like, I invested in my camera and my laptop, which helped me tremendously with YouTube. My other job revolves around these things, and I realized this in 2016, but I think this year I've realized even more how much this stuff I've invested in has helped. I can write it off on taxes for now. We'll see what happens soon, but I've really realized just how important it is to invest in yourself. If you really believe in something, think about investing, make a pro-con list. I realize how important it is to really believe in yourself, but as much as I've gone through moments on YouTube of being so down on myself and kind of depressed about it, I've realized that even though I'm not successful on YouTube technically, I have loyal viewers who mean so much to me. So investing in all this equipment, although it was for me, it was for you guys, and I realized how important that is, and how by investing in these things I feel a lot more proud of myself. If it comes to your job or your future, really invest, and whether that's school or a car or something, I'm just like, make wise decisions. But that's something I've learned this year, is to kind of take what really makes me happy and invest in that. Another thing I learned this year is to lean on your family. I've always done that, but I think because I'm appreciating it more because I'm older, not everyone my age has a family so close to lean on, so I kind of realized that that's something I can do, and yet kind of can feel like you're burdening people. But lean on your family if you have them and they care about you. Take the time to lean on them, because you know that they'll lean on you, and kind of realizing that more. Like, of course I always knew it, but I never really thought about it, I guess, in such an intense way until a lot of the stuff that's impacted me this year has happened. So it makes me more appreciative and enjoy the moments more with my family. But that's all I can pretty much think of right now. I'm sure that there are plenty more things I've learned this year. Like, every day I'm learning new things, you know. But let me know in a comment what you guys learned this year, just like one thing or whatever. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to see more from me. And Happy New Year, and Merry Christmas, and Happy Hanukkah, and whatever other holiday this time of the year you celebrate. I hope you guys all had a decent 2017. I know some of us, no matter how good it was, there's so many bad parts. But I hope you guys had a good year, and I hope you have a good 2018. Wow. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.